This is the data center power monitoring and billing system project, which I have completely built on Ignition. So here on this screen, you are looking at 60 different power distribution units, 60 PDUs, which are distributed across 6 racks. So each rack contains 10 power distribution units. So these units are consumed by different customers. So if I go to the overview screen, here I have the list of all the customers who are using these units. So for example, the first customer is using 8 racks. So 8 units out of these 60 units is consumed by the first customer. And the total kilowatt is 80, which means that each unit is 10 kilowatts. Then the second customer has 6 units and the total is 90. So each one of them is 15 kilowatt. Now here on the top, I can see the total load for all the 60 units, and it is around 420 kilowatts. Then this metric, which is the power usage efficiency, which tell us how this data center is operating, like how efficient it is. So its value is 1.3 kilowatt. So how does it calculates? It aggregates all these values and divide it by the total load. In this way, we get 1.35. So between 1.1 to 1.4 is a good value. And if it is more than that, then the efficiency will go down. Here I have total 60 racks and there are total 10 customers. So if I go back to the floor plant, here I can see the status, the real-time status for each unit. And for example, if I select one of it, I can see the real-time values coming from the unit. So the voltage, current, power, power factor, energy and load. And below is the XY chart for the power consumption. Now what these color status means. So right now, for example, this unit is green, which means that it is consuming 50% or less compared to the rated value. And if it is consuming more than 90% of its rated value, which means that it is not efficient. Maybe that power distribution unit or that rack has some issues related to heating or any other equipment. Right now, these all values are coming from the simulated tags, so that's why they are keep on changing. Now, if I go to trend section, here I can see all the trends for each unit. Here I can see the rack level. So for each unit, I can see the trend. This is for the second one. And I can also switch to different time sections. So this is the last hour. This is the 24-hour time, 7-day, and 30 days. At the bottom, I can see the average power, the peak power, minimum power. Here is the total power consumed, and the number of samples in this time frame is 1335. Now, for example, if I want to see the trend for the total facility, I will select this option and it will show me how my whole data center was operating in terms of power. Then I can also see per customer. So for customer, I can select different customers from this drop down. In the customer section, I can see the total kilowatt hour, the total energy consumed by each customer. So for this customer, he is using 8 racks and the live power is around 29. the last 24-hour energy is around this, and this is the estimated cost. So estimated cost I am calculating based on the flat rate and the demand rate. So on the database I have assigned, for example, during the peak hours, this is the amount of cost per kilowatt hour will be consumed, and in the normal times there will be another rate. So based on the time, I can charge the customer the correct cost. From here, I can select different customers. So this red section shows me that their consumption was pretty high as compared to the rated values. So that's why these cells become red. For this one, it was average. It was more than 50%, but it was fine. So based on these values, there will be a demand extra cost will be assigned to these customers because the consumption was higher. So this is the whole section for the customer dashboard, and each customer can see their profile and their usage. Now, this is the important section. Here I can generate reports, the billing reports for each customer. So here for the first customer, I generated this report, and I can download this report also, and it shows me how much energy per kilowatt hour this customer used for their assigned recs, and what was the peak kilowatt and their cost. If I want to create a new billing period, I will click on this option, and here I will select the customer, for example, this one, and I would like to charge based on the flat rate, and here I will select the date, and I will create a report. So here it will add a report. The status is currently open, so I will click here and I will click on calculate. So it will calculate the cost. So once the cost is calculated, and if I would like to finalize, I will click on review, and then I will generate the invoice. So to view the PDF for this report, I will select the ID, the billing ID 2, because this is the second report I would like to generate. And here we go. So this is the report for the second customer. This is the start and end time. Based on the flat rate, the cost will be assigned, and this is the flat rate. I can also generate the energy summary report for this time period, and from here I can download it. And here at the end we have the alarm section. So this is the complete project for the data center.